Art block is not something we need to get rid of, but actually we need to deal with reasons behind that. Because art block is a natural reaction of our psychological state. It's more like a built-in antivirus in our brain, or even a good friend that keeps telling us that something is wrong. It's actually telling us that we are having some negative things in our lives that affects our ability to create freely. I think the main reason that is hiding behind the art block is that sometimes we're having a high expectations from the art that we create. Sometimes we might focus too much on doing things right, or making the improvements with each new drawing. All of this not only prevents us from believing in ourselves as an artist, but also gets in the way of expressing our individuality. And of course, we all want to grow and get better, but sometimes we can go a little bit too far with focusing more on the improvements. The inner voice that's pointing us on our mistakes while we create will eventually become more judgmental and be more looking like a harsh teacher that will always stand behind our desk and will point out all the mistakes in the sketch or that idea of this artwork is not good enough. Over time, drawing or other form of creative process will become more difficult, boring, or even unpleasant. You will find yourself procrastinating more because our brains naturally doesn't like doing things that are difficult or serious for too long. Brain will start sending you signals for you to avoid the unpleasant activities that you haven't planned to do. This is why we can play games for several hours without even noticing that, scrolling social media, or watching our favorite shows, because our brain loves to have fun, and even when we need to learn something, we need to try making this activity more fun and playful. Question yourself, do you really love things that you're drawing? Maybe you're trying to draw many different things, but not finding yourself enjoying that, simply because it's not what you actually love and exciting about to draw. Have a moment and think on what you really love and stick to drawing that, and your drawing process will become more interesting to you and more satisfying straight away. Creativity is the process where we as an artist can express ourselves, our world and values, our unique vision of life, thoughts, emotions, sense of beauty, and all of that. Each of us is unique in our own way. This is why we need to remind ourselves to stop trying to make things perfectly or correctly, but instead trying to show our own vision, which will make an artwork already special. We need to allow to be ourselves and creating art without limiting it to strict rules, and also allowing art flow through us just the way it is at the moment. Over time, your drawing skill will improve even without focusing on that. This is why we should let go all our expectations and be in the moment of just creating. Make this time comfortable and enjoyable for yourself as much as possible. Think about on what really matters to you that you would like to draw, what you value the most, and draw something based on that. Reflect on what surrounds you. What kind of moments have you experienced recently? Maybe you visited a local farmer's market where you bought some vegetables that you want to capture, or your beloved pet. Make a few sketches of that, not focusing on technique, but relying more on your feelings, because creative process is also about intuition. So just try to express your own vision or mood that you want to capture. And drawing process is a lifelong journey. Sometimes it can be very slow and without any improvements, but it's completely natural. We just need to ignore those stagnating moments and just keep drawing. Maybe just starting to draw something small or with simple shapes. You probably know that old masters that we all admire, been making each painting for years. So we have to stop upsetting ourselves that we can't achieve the same level of masterpiece in 3 days. And there will be always something to learn. So don't be afraid to make mistakes and just start trusting yourself more and in your process, because your ideas really matter and they deserve to exist.